Right.
Hi, everybody. This is Andrea Paquette, President and co-founder of the Stigma-Free Society. I am here today at our Stigma-Free Live to introduce you to an astounding friend, author, psychotherapist. I'll get into her bio in just a second. But Junie, how are you doing today?
I'm really well, and I'm really happy to be here with you. Thank you, Andrea.
Yeah, great to have you. So, for people who aren't familiar with the Stigma Free Society, we are a nonprofit charity that has been in existence since 2010. So, we have been delivering mental health education programs, also focusing on stigma of all kinds, providing leadership for change. And so, we welcome you here, everybody who is watching, and for those who will watch after the live event. So I'm going to first start off with Junie's bio. So Junie is an author, psychotherapist, speaker, workshop facilitator, and professional writing coach. She spent the last 20 years guiding thousands of students in writing and sharing their life stories through a deep and powerful process that completely transformed how they experience their life journey. Junie has married her psychotherapy skills and book coaching skills into helping writers become authors to work with whatever emotional emotions may arise, right? On the spectrum from resistance to excitement to becoming a published author. One of the most important messages that Junie delivers is about being true to yourself, about finding your voice no matter what. I'm having problems finding my voice right now. No matter when and how you may have lost it, and then learn to use your voice in ways that honor who you are. We're here today to discuss her book launch of Rewrite Your Life 2 and Peace Awaits You. So, Junie, welcome. And I'm so excited to ask you some questions today, get to know you a little bit more, and learn about your book launch and about your new book. So, this is very exciting. And I just have to say that I personally have taken writing workshops with Junie. I found my voice and rewrote a lot of my own life stories, which caused a lot of healing. So, we're going to talk about how writing can heal. And I think that's a very important connection to the stigma free society and how we share our personal stories and how that can have such a tremendous and positive impact on our lives. So, how does your book, Rewrite Your Life, help readers reflect on their personal journeys in a way that eliminates inner shame and encourages self acceptance?
Well, the premise of the book and my teachings is to come from a place of self love, that we have to start there. And that is really, really hard for most people. No matter how accomplished somebody is, oh my gosh, at the basis, so many of us are like feeling like we're not enough. And we have so much
Mm.
shame and so many regrets and so many. So the book is a way, and my way of being in the world, because it's the only way that's helped me grow and heal, is through a place of self acceptance, self forgiveness, self love. So that's the base premise of helping ourselves to get beyond that our own inner stigmas and the stories that we've told ourselves. And so many of us have not been, we didn't have the tools when maybe we had really terrible things happen to us and have taken on responsibility that it was our fault, which is so not the truth. And so it goes deep. So rewriting, and where peace awaits us when we do, that's how.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Yeah, I know that with myself, when I first came to your workshops, I actually used your first book, Rewrite Your Life, and wrote about so many of my bipolar experiences. And there was a lot of shame, and a lot of people experience shame in their lives, as you mentioned. So it's really important that we find healing in that and authenticity in our stories. So, Can you describe the importance of being vulnerable in your work? Do you believe vulnerability facilitates a safe space for others to share their experiences as well?
It's the only way it will. It's the only way, Andrea, because
Yeah.
we live in a society where we're told not to be vulnerable, to kind of like get your shit together,
Yeah.
just don't, I wrote a play to dispel myths and stigmas about mental illness because of my own bipolar. And it was about the mask, madness, masks, and miracles. And the madness basically is the heartbreak and the sadness and the grief and all of that, right, that happens to all of us as human beings walking in the world. And yet the masks are what we're told to put on, so that we have our shit together. and
Yeah.
and the miracles for me are the ability to take off those masks, be real, be vulnerable, it's the hardest thing in the whole world for most of us to come out
Mm.
and be authentically who we are. But the cost of not being vulnerable, number one, it does allow other people to feel safe to come out too. And I have to say, when I wrote that play, that was the most vulnerable time of my life up until this year when I've been experiencing cancer. That's a very also different thing of life and death, and not easy, but it's important to be able to just be real and to be discerning to who we are, to the people that we are willing to be vulnerable with, right?
Yeah.
Because not everybody's going to hear us. Not everybody's
Mm.
going to listen, and we need to be safe. So there's lots of that, and there's so many tools, processes in the book that will take you there.
Amazing. And I think in being vulnerable, we're strong. And I think a lot of the times we think that we would be weak if we are seen in a way that is negative and not being vulnerable. So many people tend to be, shy away from it. So rewrite your life to peace awaits you will definitely, I think, bring a lot of insight for people. And encouragement to be vulnerable.
Thank you. I just want to say one more thing is when I wrote that
Yeah.
play, I I did not think it would make me strong, or when I produced it, right? And it was the biggest gift to myself, because even
Mm.
though I thought, oh well, there goes my career as a mental health worker. At the time I was working downtown East Side with people. I had a private psychotherapy practice, and oh my God, what if people find out that I have bipolar? Are they still going to want to even be near me? Well, they did. And it allowed people to feel safe. And not only that, it allowed me to feel, oh my gosh, I got through my greatest fear. And then I became a mental health advocate ever since. And that's a lot of years ago,
Mm.
20.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Amazing. Thank you for being a mental health advocate and for being so vulnerable online and with people close to you and probably others who maybe you don't know you've inspired with your cancer journey as well as your bipolar disorder journey. So I really commend you for all of that. And as well, rewrite your life to peace awaits you, empowers individuals to reclaim control over their life stories. So, did writing the book help you cultivate a more resilient mindset despite the challenges you have faced?
Ooh, I just dropped my book. Excuse me.
No problem.
Yes, 1,000%. Absolutely, it,
Yeah.
it did. And because we can't stop reality from happening. What's happened to us in the past, it happened. But what we can, and to me, events by themselves are neutral. They don't have, we put on them the meaning that we give them. And so it's how we relate to those stories. So we can look back from a different mindset and say, okay, yes, this happened, but what can I do about that? How can I live with that and also find ways that will empower me and to be able to have an intention to look for the gifts and the lessons of every single story. So absolutely, it certainly helped me to become more resilient, by being able to look back with fresh eyes.
I really like how you say events are neutral and they just happen. It's the emotion we attach to them, right? That really carves our experience as human beings. And then if we can rewrite, metaphorically and literally what has happened, then that has a lot of power. So I really like that. Yeah. So, what advice would you offer to individuals who are struggling right now and aspire to rewrite their own lives, but are not sure where to start?
Start where you are. Start
Mm,
absolutely where you are. You know, the beauty of writing, the kind of writing I'm talking about, is that it's only for you. It's for your eyes only, unless you choose to share it with a therapist or somebody that totally champions you. You don't want to be sharing this kind of writing with just anybody or somebody whose approval you're looking for. This is not the thing to do. So the beauty of this kind of writing, which is what got me into it into the first place, and to become a writer and to become a therapist and use writing as a therapeutic tool, is that it's a safe place to be real. So the advice I would give to somebody who's suffering right now or really in chaos or whatever is to sit down, set an intention, set your intention to want to heal and to learn deeper truths about what's going on. And it's just for you. And maybe you're really angry, then write out your anger and rage. Don't put it in a letter and send it to someone. Don't put it in an email. This is not for them. Because the beauty of the pen is that you will find, when you don't edit as you write, or have some kind of outcome that you want to get to, or some kind of preconceived notion of what it's supposed to look like, and you're writing it in a like nice poetic way because that's being nice. No, we don't care about any of that. You just write the truth as you remember it, or as you're feeling it, even if it's something that happened 20 years ago. It's your energy with it right now that's up. Okay, because maybe you're triggered by somebody right now, but it's reminding you of something that happened with your mom or your dad or somebody that hurt you badly. Writing it takes you away from your left linear brain, logical part of you that's just very rational. It takes you into the much deeper places when you're, like I said, don't edit as you write, just write. And don't edit and don't cross out, just tell the truth as you're feeling it. And amazing things will reveal themselves on the page. You will start to get clarity. You'll start to get, number one, you're going to move the energy around instead of just being raging at that person who's in front of you or someone else or your kids or something, because you just had, because you're just overwhelmed. The writing will bring you back into a place of stability and clarity and peacefulness, because it's just you with you, honoring you. Is that
I love
helpful?
that. Very. When I took your writing workshops, that was the one thing that stuck with me the absolute most, is writing from where you are. And I used to write and edit everything as I was writing. And you taught me that you let it flow. You don't edit as you go. You can do that later if you want, even if you want it, or not do that, depending on what you want to do. But that really helped, just letting it flow, letting it just completely come out of you naturally. So that is a very good tip, Junie. So, do you believe that revisiting past experiences through storytelling can have a healing effect and improve overall well being? And I know we touched on this, but I was wondering if you could add to that. So, revisiting past experiences through storytelling, healing, and improving well being. So, how does that work?
Well, it will absolutely help by telling your stories if your intention is to help to heal them. If your intention is to just keep revisiting the same story over and over and over again, and you can't get out of that loop and you don't care, and it's someone else's fault and they're to blame, and your life, it's just absolute. If that's your intention of writing your stories or sharing them, you're not going to grow. and you're not going to get out of it. You're just going to continue deepening that loop of angst, of anger, of pain. But if your intention is to find peace, and I really do believe that no matter what it is that we're facing, bottom line, you want that relationship, you want that car, you want that whatever, what? Well, some of those things are not necessarily what we really want. We want the feelings that those things are going to give us. And I think underneath everything, we want peace. And that's why I say in this new Rewrite Your Life book, the Rewrite Your Life Peace Awaits You, is that peace will ultimately come to us when we're willing to tell the truth and to not be stifled with our voice, because the risk of doing that is this keeps us in the same place that we've maybe always been. Maybe we never felt we had a voice. And so, like we talked about earlier about vulnerability, and it's scary. It's terrifying sometimes. It's not what we really know how to do very well. Sometimes it's just when we're sitting in front of someone saying, I really don't know, this is going to be messy and awkward, but I just need to tell you this, and don't need advice, or I don't need anything. I just need to hear me. And it takes practice, but it's so important. So yes, retelling those stories in a way that we are ready to receive the deepest peace available. And one of the ways that we can do this, yes, there's so many processes and tools in the book, but the other way that can be so immediate is when we can ask for guidance from our higher self, from the universe, for God, whatever, from whatever we might want to call that place, because all of us have access to a place inside of us where there is serenity. In spite of all the chaos around us, there is a place inside of us where there is stillness. And it's up to us to find that place. And so we can ask for that. We can just say, please help me to find the grace and the place inside of me to hear my inner wisdom, to hear my next steps, to hear what to do with this situation. And you and I could be in the same situation, but you're going to get guidance that's going to be different than mine.
Exactly.
Right? So it's up to us to really want that. And then we can get those answers. But we have to do that. We have to either be just still through meditation, going into nature and allowing just the wind, the songbirds, the trees, the ocean, whatever it is, just to allow us to be still, count our blessings. In spite of what's happening.
Yeah. I think it's very difficult for a lot of us to be still in this hustle bustle world, and taking the time to be able to do that. And I feel it's beneficial for everybody to seek that place and to seek that feeling. And how you were talking about expressing vulnerability to a friend or a family member or whichever. And a lot of times people have asked me, how do I support somebody who's going through mental health struggle or is having a very hard time? And you touched on it, the importance of listening and just sitting with somebody and hearing them. You don't need advice, and being able to speak your truth. So I really love that aspect.
What I want to
And
say,
yeah,
can I just say one more thing about that? And here are a
yeah.
couple of things. One, yes. And the way in which we talk to ourselves. Okay, because when we are able to listen and tell that little kid inside of us, that child within, or that younger part of us who may have been traumatized by some experience, we as the adults who have lived through it can come back and say loving things. That child in us, or that younger part of us could be 30. It doesn't matter how, it's just a younger part. And when something happened, cannot hear enough. I'm listening. I'm here. I'm supporting you. We need to be that parent to that part of us, and so that we can start to hear the highest truth for us in order for us to really, and then we fill ourselves up from the inside out. And in terms of the stillness, my David, my husband, would always say to me, Junie, you don't have a pause button. And because I've been the busiest person I know, and people say, well, how do you do all that? Well, I wasn't listening until the universe gave me a 2x4 this year. I had no choice but to stop, not just slow down. And I had many inner callings, Junie, slow down. And I didn't. So that's so right what you said, that in this society when we're, where everybody's hurrying up to get where, no, listen to your body. Listen to your body. Listen, take breaks, get up from that computer, go for a walk, take a nap. I didn't even know how to spell that word, nap. I mean, until you can't, until you have no choice. And so I've been listening a lot this year and choosing the high road to do that and to know that, hey, life's beautiful. I'm breathing. I'm alive. Is there pain? Yeah. Is there other symptoms? Yeah. Am I out of the woods? I don't know yet. Feeling way better than I was, but jury's not out yet. But that's okay. I'm here. And as long as I'm here, I want to live life. And if I can touch other people while I do still, that's my goal. That's my journey.
It's absolutely beautiful, and you do touch a lot of lives. You do need to know that for sure with your work and everything you've done in your life. I really look up to you. So last question.
Mhm.
Your work inspires readers to discover common threads in one another's personal stories. So promoting empathy and understanding. What are some of the universal themes in Rewrite Your Life Too? Peace awaits you that anyone could relate to.
Okay, well, let me just take a look. So this is what it
Perfect.
looks like, by the way. It'll
Yeah.
be out really soon, the 27th. I think that's like a week from now. And
Mhm.
so now some of the themes that are universal, that are, well, I actually start the book up with gratitude, because no matter what else we are dealing with, if we can bring ourselves into right now, do we have a tap we can turn on and drink like water that we, right? The things that we just don't, do we have clothes to put on our body? Can we be warm in the winter? We got shelter. The things that we might take for granted, because no matter what else, I always start with gratitude. There's always things that we can be grateful for. So no matter what story that we are trying to move through that's so gut-wrenching, we can come back to what's working for us today. Okay. So some of the stories that you will read in there that are common to us are forgiveness. Who we have to forgive, ourselves, other people, and are we ready to? And so there's a whole process. Letting go. Oh my gosh, how much have we been asked to let go in our life? The death of a loved one. It could be a pet, it could be a parent, a person. It doesn't matter. The death, a death of our spirit. Oh my God. I mean, as you and I both know, both having the illness of bipolar, we've lost our spirit. Like, where did that go? And it's terrifying when we're in a deep clinical depression or something else like that. So that's often common to everybody. It's like, where did our spirit go? The things that we want to write about with our family of origin. I'm just looking here. Maybe a significant move, a significant relationships. Um, the times that we were stronger than we thought. That's a big one. That's a big one. Teachers and mentors, and who are they? And what have they taught us? And how can we be that for others? So there's so many. I mean, and the book offers like at least 20 different themes. And there's a let's write section in each part that will allow the person to just answer those writing prompts that are there to help you to move through individually,
Yeah.
right? And so
Yeah.
lots of different opportunities. And then, of course, the book is related to a program, my Rewrite Your Life online program, which when that helps a person if they want to go through it with a mentor. I have
Mm.
certified many people who are mental health workers or therapists, whatever, who are now Rewrite Your Life facilitators, and for people to go through, because I'm passing the torch because I've been doing it for over 20 years.
Yeah.
And so 2 years ago, I ran a program to train coaches. And so people
Yeah.
can do that and therefore go through it together. But the book, if somebody's there, you've got a therapist to work together, because it's big stuff.
Yes, definitely. And I love that one, how you were talking about writing from a time when I was stronger than I thought. That one was very, very impacting for me in the past with the first book.
Was
Yeah,
it? How so?
very. Well, when I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, I had an attempt on my life, and I was able to rebuild from that. And that was my biggest triumph of my entire life and still remains so. And then creating the charity. So I was able to be stronger than I ever knew.
Right. God bless you, Andrea, and truly for not only first and foremost helping yourself through that terrible time and all of those times that led up to that, but to be who you are and have this society that for 20 years, 10 years, how long's the society been? Since
13.
2013, and this is 23. I mean, but even before, you have been dedicating your life mostly to youth to help normalize mental illness and so that, yeah, people are not stigmatized and ostracized. God bless you for what you do. You're just allowing people and youth to realize they don't have to be alone. We all have a
Mhm.
story. So
Yeah.
thank you for what you do.
Yeah.
You're a living
Aw, thank you,
example
Junie.
of rewriting life.
Aw, thank you so much. This interview has been very heartwarming for me. It's so great to connect with you again. And how can others connect with you? So I was hoping you can share perhaps your website or how to get a copy of the book, about the launch, anything you want to share.
Okay, thank you. Yes, my website is junieswadron.com, SWADRON. And oh, yeah, it's there. I can see, oh, look at there. There's my name. Um, and so that's really easy. You can get in touch with me via my email, which is the name of my last book before this one that got published, which is Your Life Matters at junieswadron.com. And yeah, people want to talk to me or are interested in writing their next book or a book or just sharing their personal stories, I'm available little by little as I'm coming back to life, and would be delighted to um, be there for whoever wants to reach out.
Amazing. And people can contact the Stigma-Free Society, stigmafreesociety.com on our contact tab. And I can connect you with the wonderful Junie Swadron. So thank you, Junie. This has been an amazing interview. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Just to say that the book will be available on Amazon
Mm.
next, well, on the 27th is the book launch. Anybody who wants to be part of the book launch team, they can, I think there's a link for that. That would be great. It's just a matter of getting an advanced copy of the book and writing a little review if you want to, or just buying it on the day of for 99 cents, I think, is the ebook. But you hopefully will find it in stores, or ask your favorite bookstore to order it, but it will be available on Amazon. So thank you.
Well, congratulations. This is an amazing and another big feat for you. And really appreciate you. And I had a wonderful time during this interview. So stay on, and I will meet with you in the virtual meeting room afterwards. And just wanted to say thank you to everybody who watches this live stream. Stigma-Free Society will be having more events in the upcoming months. And today was an astounding experience for me. So thank you, Junie. And I hope everybody has a lovely day. Bye now.
Andrea.